Selling your home or business? Hi, I'm Gloria, and as a realtor, I know that getting rid of the clutter in your home is one of the best ways to help sell your house quickly. At Jessup Premium Storage, our family-owned company provides a convenient and secure building for all of your storage needs. We now offer outdoor covered parking for that antique car, boat, or RV. Due to our recent expansion, we offer units that range in size from as small as a bedroom closet to as big as a one-car garage. All of our units are inside and climate controlled with 24-hour access and security. Our leases run month to month, so you're not locked into a long-term commitment, giving you the flexibility to move your belongings out the minute you purchase your new home. Stop by today or give us a call, 530-8003. That's 530-8003. Jessup Premium Storage.
They're cool, clean, and secure.
Big Dog Country Radio, 105.5 FM in Jessup, WIFO FM Jessup, 2 minutes after 8 o'clock on this Friday morning, 29th day of January. Butch Hubbard here, wishing you a fabulous Friday and a great weekend. Keep it tuned in to 105.5 FM. We'll keep you entertained and informed all weekend long. And right now we have 40 degrees here in southeast Georgia. Sunny today, high today of around 62. Sunny tomorrow, high tomorrow of around 67. Sunny on Sunday with a high near 75. The Omaha River levels at 10.3 feet and just kind of hanging out in that area right now. Once again, 40 degrees here in southeast Georgia. It is now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by Parker Insurance and Realty on Macon Street in downtown Jessup, Jessup Premium Storage out here on the Waycross Highway, and by Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
You ready for a pretty weekend?
I'm ready.
It can be party.
Temperatures up in the upper 60s,
Upper 60s, 70s, yeah.
Can't beat that. It's good stuff.
God, I wish it had been that way last weekend when that big concert was being held over there in Brunswick with Montgomery Gentry and Justin Moore and all those folks over there, because Sunday was just absolutely miserable. Remember that? It was overcast and cold in the low 40s and moist outside, and the wind was blowing. I didn't go. I was not going to sit out there for hours and hours and get a cold and feel terrible. I just didn't go. But this weekend it'd been perfect. I mean, if it was tomorrow, it'd be sunny skies with a high near 67. That'd have been perfect. But no, didn't happen.
It's a risk you take when you schedule things outdoors in this time of year.
I know. You don't know. You could have a gorgeous weekend like this one last weekend. You just don't know in January, February, March. You don't know.
I mean, that's like winter blues. You just hope.
Yeah.
You get good weather March 5th and 6th, but sometimes you don't know. You don't know.
I remember when I first moved back to Jessup in 1992, and moved back in 92, and that following March in 93 is when we had that big ice storm. Remember that? And the power was out. It was out at my house on Oren Way for 3 days just because of ice. Luckily, here at the radio station, being on a commercial grid, they got it back up in a few hours. But at the house, it just took forever. So you just don't know. You just don't know this time of year. You know, March is that month that comes in like a lion and goes out like a lamb. It's supposed to come in rough, as the warm weather's pushing in, the cold weather's going out, and by the end of the month, it's supposed to be nice and pleasant for the April flowers, and the April showers. Was talking with the folks yesterday with Unity Church of God and the pastor and some of the other folks there working on our annual Easter egg hunt. It's the WLOP, WIFO, and Unity Church of God Easter egg hunt. We've been doing this Easter egg hunt since 1971, and we tied in with Unity Church of God a few years ago when George Moxley gave us a call and wanted to combine them together. So we're already starting to work on it. It's going to be bigger and better than ever. It will be at Unity Church of God, but it is a community-wide Easter egg hunt, and it will be on the Saturday before Easter. And I did find out from talking to the pastor there at Unity that Easter this year is one of those rare years where it's going to be on at the last weekend in March. You usually think it's April, and it mostly is, but it'll be that last weekend in March, Easter this year. That's one of those holidays. I'd say holiday, yeah, in a sense a holiday. You just don't know when it's going to be. Have you ever read on how they come up with the date for Easter? It's a very complicated moon thing, it's, it's like, not a certain weekend, not a certain date. It's like, this is how it's going to be. So that's when it's going to be this year. But we're looking forward to being still having our Easter egg hunt this year. We're Unity Church of God. We'll have tons of stuff in the building, outside the building, games and funds and mount houses and thousands of eggs. We've already ordered 5,000 plastic eggs with prizes inside of them and candy inside of them and all that kind of good stuff. Plus, we'll have major prizes and stuff. So go ahead and make plans, folks, on the Saturday before Easter, starting at 11 o'clock. We're going to start it an hour later this year, so people don't look so sleepy when they arrive. And we'll do that on the Saturday before Easter, our annual Easter egg hunt. Already talking Easter, Bob. We're not in February yet. But you got to plan these things in advance.
No doubt.
No doubt. Well, did you see the picture on our website and our Facebook page of our Big Dog Country WIFO blimp flying over Howard Bow Field? You haven't seen that? It's got the call letters on the side. You can look at the field and you see the blimp up in the sky with our call letters on it. Making a test run there so we can have those videos from the air for the baseball games this year.
Good to know.
Yeah. And of course, it's in the hangar out there at the airport. Mitch is taking care of it for us, and we'll be flying that over the baseball field and providing the video on our website during the game.
Like I told Jonathan, when Mitch Sutton sends the bill, make sure it's sent to Jonathan. I can't afford it. Glad to know Mitch is taking care of the the hangar out there at the airport.
Yeah. You're right. Oh, Lord. The things that his imagination comes up with, Jonathan's, is amazing, isn't it?
I think he has too much free time once.
What can I think of today? If you have any questions or comments or anything you'd like for us to talk about on the world famous Butch and Bob show, you can text us at 912-427-3711, 912-427-3711, and text us a question or a comment or a subject you'd like for us to talk about. Any new news on the coal ash situation since yesterday?
Well, the word is that there is going to be a public hearing. That Buddy Carter has stated that, don't worry about that deadline, February 3rd. They're going to extend that as far as the public hearing. So that's the word, that there will be a public hearing here in Wayne County concerning the issue. So as soon as we get the date and time, location, we'll pass the information along. But his office is adamant that there will be a public hearing with the Corps of Engineers.
Okay.
So that's the latest on that. Yesterday.
Well, good. It needs to be a public hearing. Now, doesn't mean anything can come out of it. We all know that. We've been there, done that before. But at least the public here in Wayne County will be able to express their views on the situation with the coal ash being dumped out there at the Broadhurst, and also the fact that you'll have this rail spur going over there with a rail yard put there, which means a lot more coal ash and garbage and other stuff can be put out there in just major quantities. So that's what's going to be going on. We'll pass along when that public meeting comes up.
I'm still waiting to hear from Republic. Haven't heard from them.
Have not heard from Republic yet. They haven't sent word on when they want to be on the Butch and Bob show. Haven't sent another official press release, have they?
I haven't seen one. I keep waiting.
You just keep waiting.
Check my email every hour.
Every hour.
They keep saying it's coming. It's like a present in the mail. It doesn't ever show up.
It doesn't ever show up, huh? It's like a check in the mail. Yeah, well, I put a check in the mail yesterday. You'll get it soon. Doggone, post office takes forever just to mail something across town. I don't know why they get that check there already. You're right.
Tired of talking to people from them. I said, talked to three different people. Three different people said they'd send a statement. They'd come on, it's just falling on deaf ears now. So I just given up.
Don't give up, Bob. You got to be the investigative reporter. You got to keep digging and digging and digging.
Getting tired of down the numbers.
Yeah, keep digging, Bob.
Yeah, whatever.
The public wants and needs and deserves the truth.
I think their stance is pretty much loud and clear.
Yeah, we got our permit. Go away. Well, it's not quite like that. I'm kidding, but still, yeah, I guess that's kind of how they look at it. But hopefully a public hearing will come up from the coal ash situation, and folks will be able to express their comments. And of course, if you want to go in there and express comments, do your research, have information available, talk about what may happen out there, why it shouldn't be done, if that's your thoughts and feelings on it. Just don't go in there and say, I don't want to hear. Come in there and have some meat behind your comments.
Jonathan posted that address for Corps of Engineers in Savannah on our website yesterday. So if you want the address to send written comments, you can do that. So
if you want to send written comments to the Army Corps of Engineers about that building that rail yard out there at Broadhurst, you can go to our website at bigdogcountry.com or our Facebook page and get that address. Remember, if you got questions or comments for us here on the world famous Butch and Ball, you can text us. You got to text us. We can't call. We're talking on the air. Text us at 912-427-3711, 912-427-3711. All right, Bob, you said Wayne County basketball this weekend here in town?
It's been a while since they've been home. They should be home Saturday to take on Thompson tonight. They go to Savannah, take on New Hampstead. The middle school basketball tournaments are this weekend as well.
The tournaments already.
Martha Puckett, Arthur Williams boys, Martha Puckett girls still alive. Then they didn't really get the boys update bracket, but the girls are at Brantley County High School, played in the semifinals against Jeff Davis this Saturday. So I wish all those middle school teams the best, and hopefully have a report for you Monday on how they do.
Okay.
But the end of the year tournament's already underway for middle school basketball. And the high school tournament gets underway shortly. Like I said, they're winding down the season. They got this weekend and a couple of games next weekend, and the tournament should start the following weekend. So already get into region basketball. Of course, everybody gets into the region tournament. So I'm not sure if the girls' number one seed or the boys' number one seed determines the site. I have to check with them this weekend when I go to that game Saturday here at home. So get all that information this weekend. Have that for you Monday on local sports. But the girls are doing extremely well, undefeated in region play. Only lost 3 games all season. So hats off to Kayla Hobbs and her staff and team. And they said it's only her second year as head coach in Wayne County, doing an excellent job with the girls' varsity basketball program. So great hire by Mr. Brinson and company. So great to have Kayla in the fold. Has that bloodline. Everybody knows her.
No doubt about that.
Family. So, Pig Hires won a lot of state championships. Used to coach here. Was a legend at Richmond. They're still a relation at Richmond Hill. So, in the Georgia High School Hall of Fame. So,
okay. Girls basketball team doing real good. Now the boys, that's another subject, isn't it?
They're struggling.
They're struggling. They're trying, but they're struggling.
That's the best word to use. Struggling.
Struggling. Yeah, we struggling. It's like the rest of us. A lot of us, if we just struggle through each day, right, Bob? Then Friday gets here, Friday afternoon. No. Let's see here. How about your family up in Virginia? Did they have any major snow during this snowstorm?
2 feet.
2 feet?
They're still bunkered in.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a mess.
They send you pictures, or?
Yeah, they send pictures.
Okay.
My sister in Philadelphia got about a foot of snow. She's not as bad as the ones in Virginia. So.
2 feet of snow.
School's been canceled. That's what they're worried about. They have to make those days up at the end, so it just extends when they get out. So, it's fun at the moment, but it's tough times.
Right. You got to get those 180 days in.
You try to schedule things, try to line, So it's a hassle at the end of the year, because you don't know how many days you're going to have to add to the calendar.
Yeah.
So, but. They're out there having fun right now, making snowmen and having snow fights.
Did it ever ice or snow when you were going to the University of Georgia?
We had 1 snow. Yeah. Came at a great time too. Came right before finals.
It did that when I was a freshman up there, and let's see, I started in '72, so it would have been January of '73. A big ice storm. It was more ice than it was snow. I mean, a big ice storm in '73 hit Athens. First time that they'd canceled classes in forever. And let me tell you, it was fun. We just had a blast.
I've got pictures. I have to bring them in and show you the big snowman we made right outside the dorm. So that was a great night. Stayed up all night. I think somebody came running down the hall like at 1:30, waking everybody up. It's snowing. It's snowing.
Oh boy, I remember. It was just a blast there, and we had fun. You had a lot of folks up there that was from South Georgia and around, had never really been in anything like that before. And Crystals at the time, you remember Crystals? It was right across from Brumby Hall. Yeah, had this big silver ball up on top of a pole up there. Okay, I guess as a thing to make so folks can see the restaurant or something like that. I don't know why it was up there. Well, after the ice hit in '73, it wasn't there. Somebody had gone up there, apparently it was a big, heavy plastic thing, took it down, split it over in the middle, and they were using it to sit in and sled down the hills there.
That's good.
Yeah, yeah. So, but everybody was sliding on something, and you could run and slide your feet across the ice. But that big old ice storm, it was amazing.
So I'm not missing it. I said when it's sunshine skies and 7 degrees, I'll be taking pictures of the beautiful sunshine and sending it to my sister.
Send it up there this weekend, right? Yeah.
So that's why you live in South Georgia.
I wish I could be like my neighbors sometime. They're retired, and they go up to, they have a place up north, somewhere along the northeast up there, and they go up there during the summer, and then in end of October they come back here, so they're back home, and so that you get the best of both worlds. You don't get that extreme cold, and you don't get that extreme heat.
I'm just not a cold person. I don't like cold weather. So.
Which is amazing because you grew up in Pittsburgh.
I like South Georgia weather. I like playing golf in shorts December 31st. That's good stuff.
Well, that's that's the reason why you have so many retirees from up north come down to the southern states, whether it's South Carolina, Georgia, especially Florida, as we all know, because they're tired of all that cold, and they want to live where it's warmer weather, just like that. But I want to check on that. I didn't have a chance to ask you if any of your relatives up there got snow. But 2 feet of snow in Virginia, huh? Did you watch any of the debate last night?
I watched it from start to finish.
Oh, you did? Impressions?
Thought it was a pretty good debate. Enjoyed it.
Okay.
Just like seeing the different views, different candidates.
Yeah. I haven't watched any of the debates yet. I'll watch some of the highlights sometimes or hear some of the highlights sometimes. I don't like getting these little snippets of stuff because that, is just taken out of an entire conversation. But kind of keep up on it. But I think it's next week is when they're going to be voting there in Iowa.
Right.
And it all begins. And then we'll have our super primary thing here in Georgia in March, right?
March the 1st.
March 1st. We'll be voting here in March in the Republican primary and the Democratic primary.
It's going to be interesting. Like they mentioned last night, you'll see several people start to drop out.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be interesting to see where they land their sport. It was just interesting flipping back and forth. Like I said, CNN was televising the Donald Trump rally in Iowa for the veterans, and Mike Huckabee and Rick Santorum both showed up at his rally, which was interesting. So they were talking about that. So, but I thought the debate was pretty interesting. I enjoyed the debates, watching the different candidates argue back and forth and give their positions, and it got pretty interesting between some of the candidates on certain issues at one point. So, and I said I enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. That was good.
Yeah. I wonder if Mike Huckabee now regrets giving up all that income he had coming in through Fox Television and Fox Radio to run for president.
I'm sure
he had a couple of good gigs there.
I'm sure he'll go right back, don't you think?
Yeah, he could. He could go right back. I'm sure they would probably take him back in both situations. But he felt like that he had a good message out there. He was getting his word out there on Fox Television with the show and his radio show that we had here on the air. When I say show, the 5-minute program or 3-minute program or whatever it was, and maybe thought he could do something. But apparently, people are just not gravitating to him like they have Trump and Cruz and Rubio. I think those are really going to be the three that's going to be left, don't you?
Who knows? Wait to see.
We'll see what happens.
Like they said last night, that vote hasn't been cast yet, so it's a long way to go in the process. That's what people understand. And they keep going back to the history, who was leading this time in the last several elections, and they just never even got out the gate once the votes came in. So I think that people have to sit back, wait for the American people to start casting votes and see where the votes and see who the American public will want. So
I remember when John McCain was running for the Republican nominee several years ago. He wasn't doing all that well. Matter of fact, he was even carrying his own luggage from the plane into the airport. And next thing you know, he ends up winning the Republican nomination. So you just don't know. You're right, Bob. This is way too early because you got all 50 states around the country, and they all got to vote. It doesn't come down to Iowa and New Hampshire.
And that's super. I mean, they're calling it the Southeast vote on March 1st. That's a lot of states, so that's going to be interesting. So
that will be interesting. And, things have tightened up there on the Democratic side with Sanders and Clinton. Everybody thought it was going to be just like when she ran against Obama, that she was a lock. And of course, Obama won. Everybody thought that this time Clinton was a lock. And now Sanders is moved up in the polls. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. I know Joe Biden says every single day he wishes that he had run. Every single day he says, I wish I'd have stayed in there. Or threw my hat in it. He never got in it.
If the investigation goes like the Republicans want it with that email scandal, he could still get in.
You never can tell.
But I just don't believe she'll ever be indicted. I mean, they keep saying she should be indicted, but I don't see that happening.
I don't know. The
I would be
political machine's pretty powerful.
With what's in that Democratic field. If she's not the nominee, I'll be shocked. But
yeah, and we're the young folks. On the Democratic side, they're supposed to be like the Progressive Party and the Youth Party and stuff like that, and you've got two folks around 70 years old that are running. You think there would be some youthful candidates in there also. Not saying that you like for a person to have experience, you like for them to represent your views and so forth, and there's nothing wrong with a person like that. But you just think they would have some younger folks in their 50s and 40s also making a political splash here in the election.
It'll be interesting. Like I said, next week the Iowa vote comes in. It'll be interesting to see who does win. Just looks like Ted Cruz doesn't have the support of a lot of those candidates. I mean,
he's not very well liked.
That's what's coming out.
He's got a very irritating personality from what the political pundits say.
Apparently, that's what's coming out more and more. With Huckabee and Santorum going to Donald Trump's event in Iowa, seems to show that they're not. This looks like they're throwing their support that way. So they said that there's a large evangelical population in Iowa. Santorum carried that the last couple of times. Huckabee did well. So the fact that they were with Trump they thought the people on CNN talking about it thought that was a big statement for Trump, a big plus for him to have those two guys in Iowa on stage with him. So.
It's amazing how many pastors that I've talked to that, are kind of for Trump. They won't commit, but, you think it would be Huckabee or someone like that. But I guess they're trying to figure on someone that they think they could win. But it's amazing. You've got a person who's not really known for his religious views and in any type of way. He's more known for his business success and his advice on succeeding in life. If you read his books, it's more on succeeding in life than it is anything else. And, here's a guy who doesn't smoke, doesn't drink, doesn't go out and party. He concentrates on business and his family.
The most interesting thing was the pundits last night thought Jeb Bush had his best night ever, and they said the reason was because Trump wasn't there, that they feel like he's intimidated by Trump. He doesn't know how to handle Trump. He just he lets Trump get under his skin. But they said the fact that Trump wasn't there, Jeb Bush was able to just stand, stick to policy, stick to his position. They thought he had his best night ever, but they believe it's just too little, too late for him. So we'll see. Like I said, it's a long process. It's a lot's going to happen between now and November. So
you just don't know what's going to happen.
We'll just see how it all plays out. But it's fun to watch. Interesting. So I enjoyed the debate. Most people on CNN thought Trump made a mistake by not being at the debate.
Right.
They said, but that's what they have to find out.
See, Donald doesn't care. He says, if I lose votes, if I get votes,
but
doesn't matter to me. I did what I wanted to do.
That's what the whole talk was last night. How it will affect the Iowa voters. Do they feel like they were dissed by him not being at their debate, or do they feel he did a good thing with where he was at? So, like I said, he doesn't seem to care.
Well, at least,
anything he says, he says whatever he wants. That's why people like him. Right.
He doesn't check polls before he says something like most politicians. They'll check the polls before any words come out of their mouth.
You get a chance to go on the website. I'm sure it's on there. Stephen Colbert had an interesting. He did his own debate with Trump against Trump.
Oh, he did.
And
Stephen Colbert did.
And showed that one day he says he loves Hillary. One day he hates her. He likes. He even had it.
You can get that between husbands and wives, more or less political opposition.
Megyn Kelly's got an interview where he's in love with Megyn. So it was just an interesting thing. He did his own debate with Donald Trump against Donald Trump.
Donald Trump debated Donald Trump.
Right. Just showing the difference. He makes one statement one day and the total opposite statement the next on the same subject. So it was a very interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah. All right. Very comical too.
Okay. Well, I can't wait until the Iowa and the New Hampshire primaries get over with, because everything's been concentrating on those two states. I can't wait until after that, if we get into February, because you'll start seeing it here in Georgia more, because they'll be voting so much here in the South.
you know, see who all comes to this, you know, how close they come, you know, do they come to Brunswick, do they come to Savannah, does anybody come to Jessup, you know, we'll wait and see. Still hoping that Donald Trump knows where Jessup, Georgia is.
Probably the closest it'd be Savannah,
The
Bob.
problem is we just don't have there's no place to hold a Trump rally because the crowds he brings are just
I know. He's like a rock star with all the crowds that show up at his rallies.
I mean, the crowds that he attracts are just unbelievable. You know, he's definitely, you know, it's must-see TV for sure. So it's going to be fun to see if that translates into votes.
Okay.
And what we're about to soon find out.
Well, anything going on locally here in town over the weekend other than the basketball games tomorrow night? I think this is a pretty quiet weekend.
Next weekend's everything. You know, and the next week there's a lot going on. I said they got a softball banquet Monday. They've got the leadoff kickoff banquet for Tuesday. Byron Buxton's going to be the guest speaker for that. That's going to be fun. Then on Friday they got the Starry Night thing at Coastal Pines Technical College. Make sure you get your tickets for that. That's going to be a big event. Then Saturday they've got the Touchdown Club drawing a week from this Saturday at the Country Club. Make sure you pick up your ticket for that at Prime South Bank. And then Sunday's the Super Bowl. So next week's a full packed. Plus you got county meets Monday night, city meets Tuesday night. It's just going to be a very, very busy week next week.
And then the Super Bowl. On that next Sunday week. Pro Bowl this weekend. Is that must-see TV for you?
No, I won't be.
You will not be watching the Pro Bowl?
I didn't realize 33 players that made the Pro Bowl have opted not to be there. So
wow.
It's not really a Pro Bowl.
They're passing up on all that money and a free trip to Hawaii, huh?
They've all bailed. There's not even a New England Patriot on the team.
Oh, wow.
Roethlisberger passed, Antonio Brown passed with their injuries, so just not much interest. I don't want to see Russell Wilson and Eli Manning. Just doesn't do much for me, so I'll be passing on the Pro Bowl.
Oh, okay, Bob.
Get ready for the Super Bowl.
So it's going to be interesting to continue on with the Pro Bowl, but you like to hear a person, 4-time Pro Bowl nominee or winner or something like that. It makes it, to me, it's an honor.
It used to be an honor. You used to have to go, or most people went. Nowadays, they just seem bad. I said it's just getting where if you can't get the Pro Bowl players to the Pro Bowl, then why have the Pro Bowl?
I agree.
But
I agree.
I think they really need to look at it. Maybe do it midway through to do something. You have to.
You can't do it through the middle of the season like baseball or basketball. I can't. Injuries is too much on that. Couldn't do it in the middle of the season. I don't know what you do, but I mean they're trying. They set up I got two coaches or two players or former players that vote and all that kind of stuff, or pick their team. So I don't know. You just don't know, but. I don't know. I don't know if I pass up on a trip to Hawaii
on the Pro Bowl.
But the Super Bowl coming up, you got the up and coming youthful Cam Newton and the going out veteran Peyton Manning. What a stage set for the Super Bowl, Bob.
It's going to be fun next week to see how it is. But like I said, it'll be interesting to see if Peyton has enough magic to go out in the sunset. He's trying to back off on his last rodeo comment, but 99% of the people believe this is it for Peyton Manning.
All right. Well, Bob, you have a great weekend. Okay. All right. The world-famous Butch and Bob Show brought to you by Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear, by Jessup Premium Storage located right out here on the Waycross Highway, and by Parker Insurance and Realty located on Macon Street in downtown Jessup across the Heritage Bank. It is 8:30, Friday morning, 29th day of January. Let's check in with the latest news from Fox News Radio.
Fox News Radio. I'm David.